Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Danny. I am back with another episode of Market Research Unplugged. I'm super excited for today's episode. We're going to be focusing on 4th of July. As always, I have my wonderful guests here with me today. I have Dan Fleetwood and Crystal. I think it's going to be turning into a thing.
You can do it.
Alrighty, guys, introduce yourselves for anyone that might be new.
Dan.
Hi, I'm Dan Fleetwood. I'm the president of Research and Insights here at Question Pro.
Hey, I'm Crystal Weiss. I'm the director of global marketing at Question Pro, and I'm excited about this episode.
Me too. So I have some stuff for you guys today. It's just going to be we're just going to be talking about some consumer insights and some consumer trends. I know it sounds kind of businessy, but really it's just talking about what kind of stuff happens during the holidays and, tying in some of the fun with some of the business talk. And I also have a fun survey for you guys as well. We fielded one. I think about 400 respondents were the ones that we picked for or 400 was the amount that we picked for the responses to that. So we'll be talking about some of the answers that we got for it. But yeah, okay. So
This is good.
I'm excited.
Me too. So let's talk about consumer trends. So what does that mean and how does it tie into market research?
I would say this is my most favorite thing that market researchers do. And I think it is really underutilized from a reporting standpoint, from a journalist standpoint, and from Dan and I consistently hear from all of people in the audience that are watching us that they have a really hard time getting a narrative for their insights heard from, the team, the executive teams or wherever they're trying to make decisions at. But when you tie the decisions you're trying to make to consumer trends and economic impacts or business impact is really when insights teams can get their insights forward in front of the right people and really make an impact with their entire organization. We just hear a lot sometimes that insights teams do all this work and then no one pays attention to it or decisions aren't really made off of it. But when you can tie it to consumer trends and economic impact specifically, or just some fun stuff that we'll talk about today, I think is really where market researchers can showcase the best of their abilities.
Yeah, and when I hear consumer trends, I immediately think of what's popular, what's happening in with consumers. And I know there's obviously latest things that happen on social media or wherever people get their what's in, so to speak.
Yeah.
What's in? Is that dad talk for what's popular?
What's happening?
What's happening? Yeah, what's happening on the streets?
We apologize for everybody. This is a multi-generational show. We are so glad you're here, no matter what your age.
Come on, people know. Where was I? Oh yeah, consumer trends. So I think it's very important because businesses want to jump on these trends, right? Especially if they see something taking off. And the best way you can do that is to collect accurate data, because you might think things are trends, but then until you start actually realizing it and digging into the data and seeing what's really happening, then you may be spending a bunch of money on products that will flop. So you need to really kind of take into account these trends and make sure they're accurate. I mean, we see trends come and go all the time, right? Where things are popular for 2 minutes and then the next time people try to come out with them and then they're not popular anymore. So I know we'll get into it, but there's a lot of ways you can gauge trends and different ways to kind of hop on those bandwagons. I think are all things that we can discuss. So happy to dive into it.
Yeah, I mean, at least the real world application that kind of applies to me in my world is especially on social media platforms like TikTok. People sometimes think that things are trending, but you go to a specific sound and it's really just 20 videos and the algorithm just got you good and sent you the same videos every time. And then there's obvious actual trends where they transcend different platforms at least, and everyone's hopping on it just to try to capitalize on it. Obviously, as you guys might have seen if you're following our LinkedIn page, There was that 6'5" finance, whatever trend that was going on
Man
there.
in finance, 6'5",
Blue eyes.
so fun.
And it's very curious how sometimes those trends go from social media into the corporate space, I would say.
Mhm.
But let's talk about the 4th of July, because that's the topic that we want to focus on for today. How would someone even get any insights into consumer trends for like branding or forecasting or something for the next quarter, next year, something like that?
Yeah. Dan?
Yeah, I think there's a few ways you can do
That's
it.
literally your job.
I mean, kind of a little bit here and there. No, but I think there's a lot that you can do. I mean, people look at sales, right? Like actual products scanned or sales online, whatever, however those products are being purchased. So they'll look at that and then try to do forecasting based on that, like see what happened last year, and then obviously this year at the same time, kind of try to forecast that. But there's also like micro trends I think you need to pay attention to, and a lot of that can be done through like tracking work, where you would ask like the same audience kind of repeated questions or the same profile of people, the same questions over time, so you can get trends that way. But those are like some of the like two of the ways I guess you can do it. I think you can also like Danny, you mentioned social media and seeing what's trending there. Honestly, like it's a good, if you remember back to our previous episodes, a good qualitative way to look at it, like see what's trending there and seeing what might be happening, what's going in to like different holiday seasons, and seeing what's what is that another there?
What's
Dad talk there?
What's good?
So there's I think a lot of things you can do. If you don't have like a big budget, I would go and look and see what's trending on like TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and see what's going on there. If you want, you can also just program a quick survey, send it out to your audience, and gauge, because there might be trends in your particular industry or niche that you're not seeing there, and you kind of want to know what's happening. So those are a few ways you can do it. Obviously, you can see what's happening in the news and so forth, but I think that's a little less reliable, because even that I think can be influenced by people and products and
like
companies
us.
and us. So I would collect your own data if you can, and kind of go from there.
And I think to build on that, because if you're, right, it's July 3rd, this episode is, we're streaming, you've joined us, like, hopefully people have joined us, because it's July 3rd. We're so happy you're here. But, for me, really, if you're in a research and you're thinking about the future, obviously, if you're in, consumer goods, you're thinking a couple years out, but making those pivots early in the first half of the year. I talked to Dan and my boss, Eric, early in like when the Beyonce album came out. I knew it was going to be Cowgirl Summer. You knew exactly what the theme of this year was going to be. And so being able to do some surveys quickly earlier in the year to kind of say like, hey, what are you thinking about buying this year? Are you going to go to more country music festivals? Are you buying overalls? Or like seeing those predictions early on as an insights team, just culturally, and saying, okay, maybe we can't pivot everything this summer, but we definitely can align with the summer vibes.
Yeah, no, I think that's great points.
It's Cowgirl Summer's here, guys. I don't know.
Is that the thing? Is it really? So what you predicted is a real thing, and then it's Cowgirl
Yeah, it's
Summer?
already happening.
It's definitely a thing.
Don't talk to me like that. I know what you're talking about.
Like, it's not like.
No, I know it's happening, but I've heard about it, but I didn't know it was like actually going to be a.
Oh yeah, it's already.
It is.
It's definitely a thing. I mean, a couple years ago it was a hot girl summer because of Meg Thee Stallion.
And last year it was pink. It was Barbie Summer.
Barbie Summer, indeed.
And because of Taylor Swift.
Makes sense.
It's like the trends are there if you're willing to actually get out of, I would say, your insights bubble. Like, and kind of look at what's happening. I think so often we do this even in B2B sales, where it's like, oh, my ideal customer profile is a guy who wears a blue shirt and like works from home and has 2 daughters.
I wonder who that is.
Like,
But I think you're right though. But it's also, I think there's trends within different demographics too, right? Because
true.
like if you wouldn't have told me Cowgirl Summer, I would have never known it was Cowgirl Summer. Honestly, you could have told me it's whatever, and I'm like, oh, okay, interesting.
You're not getting fed the content of like Cowboy Summer. No.
I'm not.
No
I'm not
Cowboys.
going to
Okay.
the Cowboy Summer. No.
Okay. Well, guys, I mean, that means that someone's not out there, delivering those content, or that it's not consumer goods aren't being sold to you that are targeting you that way.
Mhm.
And I think that there is opportunity for insights teams to also, what we don't realize is there's opportunities for insights teams to build trends, because
Right.
what they're going to put out there is really could influence how you build a trend or how you build a fad, or kind of like the nuance of the year.
Oh, for sure.
If insights teams and marketing teams really really teamed up, you could control entire narratives, which I'm sure
Oh,
they do.
for
But
sure.
I just
Yeah. I mean, I think that does happen, especially at some companies, right? Like,
Mhm.
if anything, like depends on the companies are structured and what they will allow to get out there. But yeah, no, I think you do see that to some degree. I know what I've heard from insights teams where a lot of the frustration lies is, hey, I collect all this data, I want to use it, but then they can't get traction within their organizations, which
Yeah.
can be a big
Mhm.
problem. So I think if you can jump on these trends and show them, no, this is really what's happening, and this is why we need to do it, and back it up with data, then
Yeah.
you
I
have
have
that.
like
So.
great relatability for that. I don't know if you guys have heard about what happened with Duolingo.
Hmm.
Duolingo has quite an influence on TikTok, I would say. They have managed
Really?
to do
Wow.
some really insane out of pocket stuff, and I think it's because they had enough insight into, at least not in the business sense, but like in the being immersed in the cultural sense, that they have gotten away with some really unhinged behavior, but it's worked for
Really?
them, and it might not
Wow.
work for everyone else. Like their whole spiel is that basically Duolingo will leave some like threatening comments if they haven't done their lesson for the day, because there's like a streak that you have to keep up with and be like,
Yeah.
oh, Duolingo, give me back my family, I'll do the I'll do the lesson today. Or it'll be like someone in a costume holding a knife or something. Just
Really?
really out
Wow.
of
But
pocket.
think about the insights team that saw like, oh, hey, people aren't staying on top of their streaks. They aren't, maybe they're not
Mhm.
engaging. And now they took probably someone from a market research background that analyzed all that data, paired it with a marketing team, and said, if we do these things, we won't lose customers.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they actually
So,
gained quite a bit in popularity from doing that. And I would say that they were I think Wendy's was really the first pioneer, because they started it on
oh yeah.
Twitter in terms of like really out of pocket things that they were saying. And for anyone from an older generation, out of pocket doesn't mean out of
Yeah,
office. It
I
means
really just realized, I was like, oh, we don't.
We know what that is. Okay.
So out of pocket is when someone does something absolutely crazy out of left field. Doesn't mean out of
See,
office.
out of pocket for me means they're out of office, like they're not
Yeah,
available.
I figured.
But I think there's
But
dual meanings, right? Because I knew out of pocket, like not available, but then out of pocket, I knew what Danny was talking about too. So
Yeah, context clues, Dan. They'll get us really
context
far.
clues.
that's far. Yeah, I learned something in school. That's good.
There you go.
But Dan, are there any examples you've seen over the years of maybe even Question Pro customers, or someone that has been using, who takes their insights team and attaches it to a great narrative to see success?
Hmm. I have seen a few examples. One that comes to mind is we work with a battery company that has done this pretty well, I would say, in terms of taking insights and then leveraging it not only with marketing but also with in-store sales as well, and how
Mm.
to display these items. So we've done studies in the past where they want to see how they like the optimal display of a particular battery, right? And think about like if it's small batteries or that you could stick inside of like a key fob or air tag or whatever it might be, or even larger batteries, and how to display those in the store so that you can attract the most attention. Not only that, but it's easy to find. Like how many times you go to the battery aisle and you're like, I just sneak AAA.
Honestly, I don't even know where the battery aisle is most of the time.
It's usually on the end cap. It's usually on the end cap, I've learned. So you can
but
go
I
there.
do
But this
want
is
to
like,
buy that battery brand because they're customers.
see, I know I do too. And so they did a study about how to display these batteries and what was the most optimal display. And that was an example where the insights team had to work with marketing, had to work with also creative to see what display worked well. So, and obviously the goal is to help sell more batteries. So this is the ways that they can do that. And they probably had to work cross-functionally across multiple teams of like not just the marketing teams, but also display in store and everything. So that's one example. I know of others that I've heard more anecdotally of just around jumping on trends and then being able to use that for advertising. I think you can always think about it for product, but there's also advertising piece of it as well. And how can you jump on that? And we know that, where's attention? Attention's on social media these days, right? So people are the cycle between jumping on a trend and then also getting that creative out has really, obviously that timeline is shortened. So you can get things out, test it more frequently now, which is great because you don't have to spend like a ton of money that you traditionally would in the sense of creating like a traditional commercial or ad campaign. You can do it a lot quicker now, which is obviously beneficial for not only insights teams, so you can test things out quicker, but also marketing teams and companies as well. So a number of examples. Those are a few of the top that I can think of, at least right now.
Nice.
Fantastic. All right.
Danny's hosting, not me.
Let her host.
I want to hop on to our survey that we did.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's
So
do
this is real life applications, okay? This is real business now. But serious business only.
Okay, you want me to add it to the stage?
Yeah, if you'd like.
Bam! This is on Dan's screen, by the way. Dan, you're in control.
Look at that. All right, hold on, let me.
All
All right, let's go to the top. How about that?
All right, let's do some of these ones.
All right. So we got 400 completed responses. So 400 people took this particular survey that Danny programmed. Good job, Danny. And I know, look how easy,
I'm going.
So we asked people, we wanted to kind of gauge, all these are centered around 4th of July, the United States, the birth of the United States, and so forth, right? So
the
we have who was the first president of the United States. So 84% said George Washington.
Do people not know who the president of the United States, the first president was? Didn't you guys learn the president songs? Washington Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, Adams, Jackson, Urine.
No, I didn't learn that.
I have never heard of that song, but I mean, it helps.
Oh, wow.
It does. But I learned it in like the 90s, so it only went to before Clinton.
How many presidents have there been? Can you answer that?
49? 8?
I think it's 46, right?
I don't know.
Some amount. I was actually genuinely surprised to see 21 people answer that, as I don't know. But
Yeah, look at that.
But I am happy that the majority did choose the right answer, which is great.
American people.
Small victories.
Small victories where we can.
All right.
Ooh, okay.
What year did the United States declare its independence? I mean,
1776.
Yeah, good. You got it. You're in the majority here.
Majority. The number was even bigger on this one for I don't know, which is 50 people.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do we make me sad?
Huh?
Sometimes surveys make me sad.
I know. Especially surveys like this where you're like, come on, people,
See, some of these I don't think I'm going to know.
Oh, that's okay. I should have hit it first. Which amendment to the Constitution granted women the right to vote?
So the correct answer for that one is B, which is the 19th Amendment, which again, we are in the majority there. So I'm
Great
proud.
Job, team.
Great job, everyone.
It also, I mean, it was like, and that amendment was like also like snuck in with a bunch of other things.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
We get some fun history lessons as well, which is great.
What are a bunch of other things? Do we know or not?
It had to do with like civil rights movements too back in the day.
Oh, got it. That makes sense.
Because then they were like, oh, well, people won't care if women vote if we stick it in with all this other stuff.
It's a practice.
It was 1919 too, wasn't it? Was that the right year?
Oh, I think it was like in the 1920s.
It was later than you want it to be.
That's probably true. That's probably
Fair
true.
enough.
All right, let's move on here. Who is known as the father of the Constitution? So this one actually was kind of tough. At first, I thought it was Benjamin Franklin, if I'm being honest, but
I thought it was going to be George Washington because he was the first president. So
no, but he wasn't as involved in the Constitution because he was just a general.
Really?
Yeah, he was out there fighting.
Was he like a popular vote? Everyone was just kind of like, oh, I mean, he's cool. Everyone
I don't know that much about U.S. history. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But I know
someone can comment on that.
That's true. But the correct answer is what?
James Madison. That is the correct answer. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very exciting.
I don't even know who that is, but I mean, great.
You know who he is? He's the father
Washington
of the
Adams Jefferson Madison. He's the 4th president of the United States.
4th best, and he's still the father.
4th best.
He got voted later, you know. I don't know.
He's 4th best. Sorry.
Okay, what is the supreme law of the land? Where did you get these question types?
I mean, listen, I wanted to know partially if these are probably like questions that would be on like an actual citizenship test.
That's true.
I have no idea if I would be able to answer any of these despite living here for a very long time. So but
is it the Constitution or is it the Bill of Rights?
For that one, it is B. So that is going to be the Constitution, which makes sense. I feel like that one's a context clues kind of question.
Great job, team.
Great job, team.
All right.
We're for everyone who's now stayed on this podcast or webinar that we're on right now. We are grateful that you are here. Please join us for other unhinged content on Live with Dan.
Yes.
Not for the history lessons, though.
No, not for history. Just for the fun, you know.
What is the capital of the United States?
I mean, most people got this one.
Everyone pretty much got that one. Which is
Washington, D.C. Good job, people.
Even I knew that.
92%.
Some people weren't paying attention. They were just clicking buttons. Did we do speeding on this?
I think we did do speeding and some data quality checks. So I think people were paying attention and maybe people just didn't know. So
could be.
Sunshine
Sunshine State.
It's Florida.
Yeah.
I honestly could see how people get confused with California. Yeah.
No, it's Florida. The OJ people use that in their like OJ commercial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know. It's also one of the states that's trying to make daylight savings time like full time.
Oh,
so one
I could get down with that.
Though technically scientists say we should be in standard time because that's more aligned to our circadian rhythms.
But I think you just pick one, like you're going to get a line no matter what, right?
No.
I think so. Because you get adjusted to it, right? Like when it changes.
Well, it depends on how dark it gets outside. I don't think anyone wants it to be
That's why people don't want standard time. That's why we want daylight time.
Although I have heard situations where when you switch, you get an hour's more sleep when you fall back, right?
Yes.
So in the fall. So, but I've heard when it goes forward, there's something like it's like emergency room visits or heart attacks or something goes up like a significant amount on that day. Weird. Because people are getting an hour less of sleep. Yeah.
Oh my God, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. Okay, on to the next.
question.
So it's something like that, but don't quote me on it. Sunshine State. All right. So that's
Florida.
Away from Florida. How many stripes on the American flag?
That one I feel like is always a fun fact for people that actually know it. It's 13. Yeah.
It was based on the stars are based on the states and the stripes were based on the colonies.
You got it. Good job.
Fantastic.
Yeah, My most fun, this is a really fun fact about the flag. A
Mhm.
standard sized flag can tell you the wind speed.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. So like an American standard flag or any standard size flag, like all over the world. That's
Hmm.
why like when they were like marching into war and holding them, like snipers could use it to tell how fast the wind was going. They still
Really?
Ah, that's pretty cool.
you can
Huh.
understand wind speed with a standard size flag, not just for snipers, but for general information like pilots.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I guess it kind of makes sense because it'd be consistent each
Yep.
time.
So
I wonder how they figured out the measurements for it.
I don't know. You'd have to ask my dad because he was a pilot and he was the one that taught me this.
Oh.
And he was like, "Yeah, that's why they're standard flag." And like, and then with the like wind flags at airports can tell you the speed, like the wind.
Yeah, I knew that. How many knots or whatever, like the
Yep.
the
But
cone
like
shaped
the
flag, right?
ripples, something to do with the ripples on a flag.
Maybe
Huh.
someone will know.
If you know in the
Coming up
audience,
on
let
the
us know in the
next
comments.
episode of MRX Unplugged. We're doing fun with flags here. But
All right.
we're gonna have Sheldon on. All right. Let's see here.
Oh,
All right. What is the largest state? People.
This one seems like it was up for debate because
I know.
it's Alaska.
it was pretty
It's
split.
Alaska. People think everything's bigger in Texas except for the state. It's actually bigger in Alaska. So there you go.
I think it's because the way that it's on the map, Alaska just looks so tiny. But if you really like drag it down and like compare it to like the country, it's
That's huge.
massive.
That's
It's
crazy.
huge.
I
Great job.
forget
Yeah.
the terminology for it, but it's like the weird way that you can't really accurately portray something because of the way that the map is, because it's like round, something like
Because
that.
the curve of the earth, because it's at the top.
Yep.
Plus,
Uh,
it's like it's Texas is like one big chunk, right? I think Alaska is also broken up into like
has
different
Or like
inlets and things
islands
like
and
that.
stuff.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's harder.
it
to
also
tell.
like almost gets very close to Russia.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
when it's frozen over, you
It
could
does.
technically walk across to Russia.
Yeah.
So fun. And so when you do surveys, you can find out interesting information about your constituents, either that be your customers, random people on the internet, and you could use those to make decisions. Maybe not this survey, but useful surveys.
Well, maybe you can use some for decisions coming up. So,
Okay, here we go.
all right. What animal is on the Great Seal of the United States?
Oh, I thought it was saying what animal is the great seal. And I was like, a seal? An eagle?
An eagle. Good job. Most
An
people knew
eagle
this
indeed.
Yes, but did you know that their eagles are this like the country animal for many other countries?
Yep, Mexico
one.
is
Really?
one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Huh,
Did you guys
makes
know
sense.
that the iconic eagle sound is actually a hawk?
Really? I did not
Eagles
know
just
that.
chirp. It's really cute. It's adorable, but no one wants their eagle to sound like a chirp. So
Huh.
That's funny.
I did not know that.
this
It's
is just
okay.
really
I
Kind
like
of
just wanna
changes
live,
how I feel about eagles.
I only want to live in Scotland because their national animal is a unicorn.
Oh,
Scotland?
that's
Oh,
pretty
wow.
cool.
If you come to X Day, that's one of our live poll questions every year.
I love that.
I think in New
Um,
Braunfels, Crystal, the high school, their mascot's a unicorn.
I'm not going to New Braunfels.
Well, if you ever go there and you drive by high school, there's a unicorn. I'm pretty sure.
I will not live that far in the suburbs. That's like living in Round Rock.
It's not like living in Round Rock. All
Okay.
right. What city is known as the Big Apple?
New
Wow.
York.
I'm proud that everyone got, this one
This is
Yeah.
good. Good
essentially
job,
correct.
people.
Dan, do you know what
Someone-
town is known as the Little Apple?
I don't, but I guess you're going to tell me.
Manhattan, Kansas,
Manhattan, Kansas. Makes sense.
where K-State is.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Really? The Little Apple.
They call it the
So-
Little Apple.
What do they do there? Like, do they have some of the same traditions?
Yes, we have a ball that drops at New Year's Eve in downtown. It's so fun.
Okay.
And then everything's like Apple-y themed, like the car dealerships and stuff.
I don't know. This is just funny. I never knew this.
So it's like if
They
anyone's
probably because there's probably not a lot going on in, well, maybe there is because K-State's there, Manhattan,
Manhattan?
Kansas, but
Uh,
they probably embraced being the little apple, is what I'm thinking.
a lot. Like if you're from,
Apple
and the
skins.
population's only 53,000 people.
Oh,
yeah.
they're
So
proud of their
That's their whole
apples.
thing.
like
Yeah.
we gotta have something. So if anyone is from Kansas watching this today, I am also from Kansas, and it's nice. And so I hope
It's nice.
It's nice.
fine. But Manhattan, Kansas, it's the little apple.
The little
All right.
apple.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm learning so much on this call today, or this webinar.
I know we call it a call, but we're all glad you're here.
All right,
All
let's go
right.
to the next one.
Let's move on. All
How
right.
many are
What?
there?
It's
I think there's like 20.
10 more, 20 questions total.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go, people.
All right.
Let's move it along.
What is the only state in the U.S. that produces coffee commercially? This one I actually didn't know, but
This one
I'm
I thought was
guessing-
interesting.
Why?
It's Hawaii.
Oh yeah, sorry.
know.
I don't have my eyes on. Or I mean I have contacts in. But yeah, because they have to be closer to the equator.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Perfect weather for it.
But there is some weird statistic about coffee and how like most of the world's countries produce it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's like something
Most of the
wild.
world's countries produce it. So
Yeah.
all countries are
Almost like
most of
over
them.
half.
Oh wow.
That's a good amount. I mean, everyone loves their coffee. I think the world would stop if they didn't have their coffee, so fair enough.
Coffee and
But if
tea.
it has to, you said it needs to be close to the equator, right?
Yeah, but I'm telling it's not good coffee. That's why you have like
Oh, all right. I was thinking because I think there's more countries above the equator than below, right?
yeah, but it doesn't have to be on it. It just has to be near it, like within a certain radius.
The little central
Makes-
band,
okay.
probably.
All right.
So
All
then
right.
you put, like South America, Africa, like Asia, you get the whole
Right.
like,
Can you keep naming your continents, please?
I was like, oh, that should have been a quick. We'll do a geography survey
like it.
later.
All right.
We've lost all of our viewers.
We've lost it. We've lost it. Stick with us. There's some questions about fireworks coming up, so I know you'll like that.
There you go.
Which U.S. state produces the most potatoes?
It's Idaho.
This one's iconic. Everyone knows it's Idaho.
Do they?
Idaho.
This is where our accountant lives.
Yes, that's true. Idaho, 82%. So most people knew that. That's good. People
It's
are
good percentages.
doing good.
Pleasantly
good.
surprised.
Certain
which state the
Oregon counties have voted to try and join Idaho and create a greater Idaho and
Really?
leave the state of Oregon and secede. Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Like
This is like in California too, right? Like the
Yeah.
northern half wants to be the state of Jefferson.
yeah, they want to divide. There's like a movement to divide California into 3 states.
Because it's just so big. It's a big
Yeah,
state.
I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm just saying what is on the news. People.
We just report it. We just collect the data, okay? We don't
I'm
even
just reporting.
Don't shoot the messenger.
yeah.
Okay, in which state is
All
the
right.
Grand Canyon? Utah?
Arizona.
Oh, everyone thought Arizona for some reason.
Wait,
it
where
is Arizona.
No, it's in Nevada. It's near Las Vegas, right?
It
The Grand
is-
Canyon? No, it's Arizona.
What question? Okay, 14.
Where is the Grand Canyon? What's
It
the
is
answer?
in Utah.
No way.
No, Grand Canyon National Park is in Arizona.
It is in there. Oh, I might have gotten the
Yeah, it's definitely Arizona.
mixed up.
Been there, done there, seen that.
Damn,
Would recommend, would see it again.
I was there in 2007.
Okay.
High school graduation trip.
Oh,
I have yet to be there, but maybe one day.
you should go. Make sure you go to Arizona though to look for it. Okay?
Don't go to Utah. Too. It's not where it is.
But Utah does have a lot of nice national parks.
Oh
so,
yeah, Utah's actually beautiful
Yeah.
from what I've heard, which is
Yeah,
interesting.
you won't be
Love that.
disappointed if you go to Utah. All right, we need to keep it rolling here. All right, who was the U.S. president during the first moon landing? Richard Nixon, 36%. John F. Kennedy, 25 or 26%.
I don't know if I
It
know
couldn't have
this.
been. It couldn't have been John F. Kennedy because he was not alive in
Was
1969.
indeed Richard Nixon.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's
Good
so
job,
fun.
people.
So
19
from here on out, my answer key is off now.
Okay.
So I will be getting the correct answers as we go.
Great. Richard Nixon, love that for everybody. Moon landings. I
There we
still
go.
think it's hilarious that it's easier for us to go to the moon than it is to go to the depths of the ocean.
Yeah.
I know that's pretty wild, actually.
That's all.
One day, in
Maybe
20
one
years,
day.
it'll be who was the U.S. president when we went to the bottom of the ocean? That'll be.
I mean, I
It's-
think we've only gotten as far as like Mariana's Trench, but like not all the way down.
no.
All right. So
So many
Uh,
monsters
right.
down there, I bet. That's so
I don't want to think
So
about
many
it.
monsters.
Especially the octopus that they found, or was it an octopus or a giant squid or something like that that they found at the very bottom? They thought it was a myth.
I don't know, but there are some creepy creatures down there for sure.
Okay. Which fast food restaurant is a clown? McDonald's? Is he a
Yeah.
clown?
Capitalism, everyone knows it's McDonald's.
Look at that. What's weird is that they don't even promote the clown anymore, right? I mean,
No.
No.
I think they've
Almost
The,
fizzled it out.
Who's coming back? That the older characters are coming back, at least on TikTok.
Yes,
then-
Oh,
Grimace.
The purple guy.
Grimace.
Grimace.
Yeah.
The Grimace drink, the whole trend was so morbid.
But
Oh man,
it is a way that they caught a trend and capitalized on it.
that's true.
You just
So
gotta.
they got their drinks out. Unintentionally, but they did it somehow.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go.
All right, next one. Approximately how many pounds of fireworks are purchased by Americans for the 4th of July celebrations each year?
So that
It's
one.
not 50 million. It's not 100 million.
People don't know. They just gave up. They're
I
like,
don't
You know
know.
what? No.
40 said I don't know.
Well, the answer is apparently 150 million.
150 million
Really?
pounds of fireworks. That's hilarious.
Pounds of fireworks.
59 people
That's
answered
crazy.
I just had to make the screen bigger because I couldn't see.
that.
I can zoom in a little bit for you if you want.
Thanks. Okay, let's keep going. People
That's crazy. That's a lot of fireworks. All right.
That is.
And what city
people are
is
ready to
known for
leave
having?
for our 4th of July vacation. You and me both, Dan.
Yeah, we're out of here. What U.S. city is known for having the largest 4th of July fireworks display?
In this case,
New
everyone
York.
got it right. It was New York.
Oh, is
I would
it?
say
I
New
would
York.
probably said DC because they have
Oh yeah,
the orchestra and the display.
I think you're right. I would have said D.C. for 4th of July, and then obviously New York for maybe New Year's.
I mean, yeah, New York is definitely big though when it comes to celebrations. It wouldn't be New York if it wasn't.
That's true. That's a good
Did
point.
you know that the largest fireworks show in North America was when the Brooklyn Bridge opened?
Really?
I learned that on the Gilded Age and fact checked it myself. Shout out if anybody watches the Gilded Age. It's great.
Always important to
What
fact
is-
check, as we've seen.
That's on Max. Or
It's
what-
on
what's that
HBO.
on?
Yes, it's it's the counterpart to Downton Abbey. So it's the U.S. version.
Oh.
It's the same time period, but in the United States, if not a little earlier.
Oh, got it. Got it.
Love
So
it.
you'd recommend it? Highly
Oh.
recommend?
10 out of 10.
Oh wow, that 10 out of 10.
I mean,
All
it's so if you like period dramas and you like Downton Abbey, you will love the Gilded Age.
All right, Gilded Age.
Bridgerton before
Nothing's-
Bridgerton was a thing, maybe not as crazy as Bridgerton, but no.
Plus, it's cool. They talk about real historical things, and I love history like that. So it's fun to be oh, this is what these characters are based off of,
Aw.
Interesting. All right.
like Vanderbilt and all that, Edison, all that stuff.
Oh yeah, so it goes. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Okay,
Oh,
here- oh,
All right, what patriotic song is traditionally played at 4th of July celebrations? Proud to be an American. Lee Greenwood? No. All right.
Star Spangled Banner.
Star Spangled.
All the
Star
banner.
Spangled Banner.
You know,
It's-
gotta
most
be it.
some people think "God Bless America" is the national anthem. It is not.
Really?
No?
It's not.
No, it's the Star
America
Spangled.
the Beautiful?
Oh, the Star Spangled Banner. Okay. Well, the answer for
Isn't the
here
Star
is
Spangled Banner the national anthem?
Mhm.
well, let's find out. What is the national anthem?
Yeah.
Star Spangled Banner.
It is indeed the what? The Star Spangled Banner.
Because what's his name wrote it on the boat being held captive by the British while he watched Fort something something get attacked, and then the flag like stayed through the night. It's literally a story.
Aw,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
It is a story. You're right.
It's literally a story. But propaganda makes people think that it's God bless America. It's not.
I mean, the answer so far for this question was all of the above. Everyone plays all the songs all the time.
Yeah.
I guess
And
overall
like
good.
Party in the USA. And
Also, that's our unofficial new age party anthem for
Party in the USA.
and then what's the one, the country one that's like the Leonard
There's
Skinner.
like the I'm proud to be an American.
No, but there's another one too that's better.
I'm thinking of the Green Day song.
That one's
Let us know in the comments what
like Good Riddance by Green Day. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
That's like the graduation song, right? Like, doesn't people don't
Something like that.
let us
graduation?
know in the comments what songs you're playing on your Spotify playlist during your 4th of July barbecue.
What's your 4th of July anthem? You know, the new age one.
It's probably like what's that Kid Rock? It's probably Kid Rock, right?
Yes,
One of all
it's
those
probably
150 million pounds of fireworks that we bought. You know?
Oh, all the poor dogs. Okay, last question.
All right, last question. Oops. All right.
Two more
hot dog.
questions, I
So,
think.
Oh, two more.
all right.
Yeah.
What is the most popular food consumed?
Oh wait,
if I can
last
speak?
question.
What is the most popular food consumed during 4th of July celebrations? It
This
is the
one
hot dog.
was
Yeah.
unsurprising. Hot dogs.
Did you hear like Joey Chestnut? Do you know who that is?
No.
No.
So he's like the Nathan's hot dog eating champion.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Something like 75 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
that's a lot of
But
hot dogs.
Yeah, but he's won it like I don't know the past like so many number of years. But this year he can't participate in it because he signed with a competitor, so they won't let him participate in the hot dog eating contest.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I know.
You know, there's a
So-
conspiracy theory for hot dogs where people are saying that like they will purposely put like an uneven amount between the hot dogs and the buns. So you have to buy more buns to cover for the amount of hot dogs that are in the other package. So there'll be like
So
6
like the bread
Oh,
industry.
Yeah, so like there's 6 buns and then 8 hot dogs. So you got to buy more buns for the 2
that
extra.
is true. Actually, it's never equal. Like, just put 8 buns in the package. Yeah.
Somebody's in cahoots.
Yeah,
to,
there's a
like-
collusion between the bread and the hot dog industry.
This is ridiculous.
That is something we could get viral on TikTok.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
we could maybe talk about that and just be like, "Hey guys, let's prove this theory. Why not?" And then what tools we could use in market research to prove it right? I don't know.
We could do some qualitative and quantitative research. You know,
This
could
is
figure
guys,
this out.
come on. Let's the boss is gonna watch this episode at some point. Let's keep this going.
Well,
Oh,
I
that's
guess
it?
that's a good segue to kind of talk about then where we might be able to like, these are like fun questions at the end of the day, but maybe we can actually apply some of the answers that we got for these. Maybe U.S. education system, how we can get more accurate, I guess more kids, how can we get kids more
Danny's really
interested
trying
in
to
the
stretch
history?
this to some consumer trends, man. I think that there's, people could run that. We just ran this to a sample, obviously, but if you had your mailing list or something and you're like, hey, what do people do for the 4th of July within my sphere of consumers or network or community? And you could ask those questions like, hey, are you traveling? Are you staying home? If you stay home, do you want this kind of content? Or do you want this like, I don't know, like discount code? Or, do you want to buy buns instead of hot dogs and hot dogs instead of buns? I think that there is something to be said about running surveys around themes and not just assuming that your constituents or your consumers want something like a discount code or something, maybe they do want something more tangible, or they want, like they're buying their stuff ahead of time. Running surveys around themes also is more of an enjoyable survey experience with an actual like reason to take it. Whereas sometimes I think people are like, why do I want to take your survey? If you tie it to something that's kind of unique and fun, you are probably going to get some surprising data points that you wouldn't have had before.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
All
Sounded
right.
like I know what I was talking about.
Well said.
Definitely
Well
did.
said.
Any last thoughts, Dan?
No, just have a good 4th of July. Stay safe. Blowing up all those 150 million pounds of fireworks and eat your hot dog.
Yes, it'll be so fun.
I'm excited for it. I'm gonna have a good time. But yeah, I mean, this has been a really great and insightful, because that was our topic.
Nice.
Insightful, webinar. I hope that people at least learned something, had fun guessing, any of the answers that we gave out today. We will be talking about a more serious topic in the next one. That's, the partnership between AI and market research. It's a pretty interesting one. I think there's going to be some opinions on it for sure. We would love to get your guys' questions. So if you guys have any, please feel free to send them over to us, in the comments. Or if you guys like, we have a webpage for our market research Unplugged series. Definitely would recommend you guys check it out. Sign up for, our info, all that good stuff. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for your time. I had a good time here, and thank you for co-hosting here on Market Research Unplugged.
Bye, guys.
Awesome.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.